Mental health. It's one of the most prevalent topics of modern society, but what exactly is it? Mental health, according to Wikipedia's definition, encompasses emotional, psychological, and social well-being, influencing cognition, perception, and behavior. Now, in very simple terms, your mental health is why you feel stressed about an exam, anxious about the future, or even depressed after losing someone you love. It plays a major part in the decisions you make, how you view yourself, and how you treat others. So now that we know a bit about what mental health is, there's another question I want to ask you. What does Islam say about it? In the Quran and Hadith, Islam is very open about acknowledging human emotions like sadness, madness, and even despair. Some of the most beloved prophets in Islam went through intense mental and emotional pain. Take Prophet Muhammad ﷺ for example. After losing his wife and his uncle during the same year, it became known as the Year of Sorrow. The Prophet felt extreme grief during that time. However, through that pain, he continued to complete his duty as a messenger and showed that anyone can feel grief and pain. Feeling these emotions doesn't mean you're weak or sensitive, it just means you're human. And it wasn't just him. There were plenty of other prophets who went through similar challenges. Prophet Yaqub, Prophet Ayub, Ibrahim, Musa, and Isa. All of them experienced struggle. But what mattered most was the response. They turned to Allah, but they also acknowledged their pain. That's an important balance. Islam doesn't teach us to suppress our emotions. It teaches us to channel them through patience, hope, and to trust in Allah's wisdom. The Quran says, "Indeed, with hardship comes ease." It doesn't say after hardship, but with hardship, meaning that even in your hardest moments, there's still something good present. Maybe it's growth, maybe it's a lesson. It doesn't matter exactly what it is, it's just that you're not hopeless. Here's something that's not well known enough. Muslims were actually pioneers in mental health. The earliest recorded mental hospitals in the world were in Baghdad and Cairo, built over 1,000 years ago. They weren't prisons or punishment centers like in some other civilizations. They were healing institutions. Patients were treated with dignity, surrounded by running water, gardens, music, and compassionate care. One of the greatest Muslim physicians, Al-Razi, wrote about mental illness in detail. Depression, anxiety, and even what we now call obsessive compulsion disorder. He argued that mental illness should be treated just like physical illness, with care, patience, and knowledge. Another scholar, Ibn Sina, known in the West as Avicenna, explored how emotions and thoughts can affect the body. He believed that a healthy soul leads to a healthy body, and vice versa. That's what modern psychologists now call the mind-body connection, something that Islamic scholars recognized centuries ago. So the misconception that mental health is some new Western idea just doesn't hold up now. Islam has always seen the human being as a combination of the physical, emotional, and spiritual, our body, mind, and soul. The Prophet ﷺ himself laid the foundation for this view. He encouraged kindness towards those struggling mentally and emotionally. He said, "There is no disease that Allah has created except that He has also created its cure." That includes diseases of the heart and mind. Seeking help isn't a lack of faith, it's an act of it. But today, things look a little different. Even though we have more awareness about mental health than ever, there are still stigmas that run deep, especially in Muslim communities. A lot of us grow up thinking that struggling mentally means your iman is weak, that if you're depressed, it's because you drifted from Allah. But that's not true. Even the most righteous people faced emotional battles. What matters isn't if you struggle, it's how you respond when you do. When you pray, make dua, or open the Quran, you're healing your soul. But when you see a therapist, talk to a counselor, or reach out to a friend or family member, you're healing your mind. Islam doesn't ask you to choose one over the other, it encourages balance. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Tie your camel and then put your trust in Allah." Meaning, take the means, do what's in your control, and then have faith. So yes, pray, but also reflect. Go for a walk and seek therapy. Build your relationships. Do what you need to heal because Allah wants ease for you, not hardship. So, what can we do moving forward? First, We need to make our masjids and communities safe spaces for real conversation. The Prophet ﷺ was the best listener. When people came to him broken or anxious, he didn't shame them, he listened and comforted them. We need to bring that compassion back. Second, we have to take care of ourselves holistically. The Quran and Sunnah both emphasize balance between mind, body, and soul. Eat well, sleep well, pray sincerely, and surround yourself with people who uplift you. And third, remind each other that mental health is not a weakness. It's a part of the test of life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Do the people think that they will be left to say, 'We believe,' and they will not be tested?" Struggle is not a sign of distance from Allah. Usually it's a path toward Him. So the next time you or someone you love is struggling, don't hide it. Don't be ashamed. Take that first step toward healing. And remember that in Islam, your worth isn't defined by how perfect you are, but by how sincerely you keep trying. All this to say that mental health isn't a side topic in Islam. It's part of who we are spiritually, emotionally. And when we take care of our hearts and minds, we're honoring the trust Allah gave us. So let's bring compassion back, understanding, knowledge, and remind ourselves that healing is not just possible, it's part of our faiths.